Hey, you're listening to Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0. This is Grady Hooker, and live on Skype we got Josh.
Hey.
And we got Brandon.
Hello.
So we've got a packed show to get through. We're going to start off with Raw. It starts up with The Authority, and they pretty much make a lumberjack match, Seth Rollins versus John Cena. And if John Cena wins, he gets the 3 fired people's jobs back.
You knew it wasn't going to be that easy. Especially when the Lumberjacks all turned out to be all the heels on the roster.
Except for Justin Gabriel, you don't know what the hell he is nowadays.
He turned heel on NXT a long time ago.
NXT is a whole different universe. Different canon.
Just ask Sin Cara.
Yeah. We'll talk a little bit about the next Raw as well. So they're pretty much going to be doing this the whole way through. I don't think these three are going to be fired for long.
Yeah, we'll have them back by the time Royal Rumble comes around, because you got to have them to fill out the roster.
True. So Seth Rollins won, if that wasn't obvious by the way we were talking about it. And Dean Ambrose needs to see a psychiatrist.
And perhaps Cena needs to as well. He's been looking like a kicked puppy a lot lately.
Yeah, Cena hasn't been getting his way.
But yeah, you just knew something funny was going to come out of this psychiatrist thing with Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, it was all just to set up Dean getting his entry into the Royal Rumble.
I loved how he delivered the line about him being a bad little boy. That one had me cracked up.
Yeah, he pretty much ended up turning it over and becoming a psychiatrist for the psychiatrist at the end of the night.
Apparently this is something he's done before on the independent circuit.
Okay. I'm not sure if it was a little thing about their promos for SmackDown moving to Thursday.
Yeah, I thought they should have brought that guy in.
Yeah, but they did reference it.
True.
Because when they did the word game thing with the pictures, he said Thursday right away.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, Dean was talking about that promo about SmackDown moving to Thursday, saying that you don't know that he was there to visit the psychiatrist. He could have been helping him when he left. So now we know he may have been helping him. He's a good psychiatrist himself. But yeah, Dean's in the Rumble. Surprise. We got The New Day versus Cesaro and Tyson Kidd.
Yeah, I'm really liking Cesaro and Tyson Kidd as a tag team.
And
it's a case they don't have anything to do for them individually. Let's throw them together as a team and see what happens.
That's kind of how some of the best teams have been formed that way.
I think personally they're doing quite well. I'm not sure with the Adam Rose matchup, but luckily he's been staying on the outside of the ring for the most part.
Yeah, it looks like there could be something with Adam Rose, but it's likely Adam Rose stays out of it because the connection between Cesaro and Kidd is unbelievable at this point.
Unless we're going to be heading into a 6-man.
There's going to be a 6-man tag. It's guaranteed that there'll be a 6-man.
Yeah, I'm hoping Cesaro and Tyson Kidd stick together and build them up a little more. But with the other tag teams you've got in the scene right now, I'm not sure if they'll be going for a title shot anytime soon.
Well, you likely have Miz Dow and The Miz coming out of the picture soon, so that opens up a heel spot.
True.
You just need somebody to work with.
You mean they need
Yeah, I
somebody
can
to
just
go
imagine
over?
the matches the Usos and the Masters of the Universe would put on.
Whoa, Masters of the Universe. Yeah, Flash joke. Oh, really? No one's old enough to... I'll move on after my awkward segue to Flash. But we've got Big Show cutting a promo about being a giant.
And then you have Roman Reigns cut one about being Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah. But something's going to happen. I think you've been saying for weeks it's going to be a last man standing match.
I think it's got to be eventually. I'm not sure it'll happen at the Royal Rumble though.
Okay.
But I figured the two have to collide in a last man standing match.
You're changing your mind now. You're steadfast. It was happening at the Rumble.
Well, I would have figured it would have been announced by now if it was going to happen.
That's a good point. Stuff's been known to be announced on main event, I'm sure. But it pretty much went straight into a Roman Reigns versus Luke Harper match.
It was a good match.
Yeah, I
Reigns
thought it was a good match as well.
Reigns is starting to open up his moveset some. He hit a net breaker on Harper at one point.
Yeah, definitely working with people like Luke Harper are going to bring out the best in Roman. Putting him with the Big Show is not going to help him as much in the ring as putting him against maybe a Luke Harper as we saw on this Monday Night Raw.
Unless they are pulling out some matches like a last man standing where it doesn't have to look pretty.
And he's also been hitting things like suplexes of late as well.
Yeah,
So
he needs to continue to add new moves, because I believe it was not too long ago, I believe it was against Rollins on Raw. He pulled out some moves I have never ever seen before.
He's definitely improving.
Yeah.
Now we got Alicia Fox versus Naomi. And the Authority made Naomi wrestle with one hand behind her back to punish the Usos.
How cruel.
It makes all the sense in the world.
Naomi is the new Nikki Bella.
I'm not sure how to punish her husband's tag team. You make her lose a completely unimportant match to Alicia Fox, but hey.
Well, you have to wrestle Alicia Fox. That's a punishment in and of itself.
Fair enough. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem to be very Usos and Naomi versus the Authority at all, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was kind of a random move.
Like, what did the Usos do lately to annoy the Authority?
Well, they cut a promo against them on the SmackDown prior.
Ah, that'll be why then.
Smashing them for firing the Fire 3.
I gotta stop missing SmackDown.
Yeah, SmackDown, it was pretty good this week.
So we'll go into the classic, just about screwed it up, classic entrance theme. It's Maria Kanellis.
Every step she takes, my blood is flowing. Her legs go on and on for days.
And you're back with the Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, Grady, Josh, and Brandon. Right where we left off, Jey Uso versus The Miz.
Yeah, it feels like we've seen some kind of Miz versus Jey or Jimmy Uso every week, and I'm getting tired of it.
Well, you gotta build up for that title match. Where the Miz and
we've
Mizdow will
only seen
implode.
Yeah, we all know Mizdow and Miz will probably lose their rematch for the tag team titles.
Well, we all know Josh won't be happy if they win. Hot potato, hot potato. But yeah, just explode already. Though without too much spoilers, this week on Raw we got a new Mizdow. And I gotta say, it was a pretty good one. Was it?
Yeah, I was fooled.
I thought it was him as well. But we got X-Dow, I think that's what WWE.com called him.
Yeah, I was thinking, oh, X-Pac, he's looking good, and then I saw the real X-Pac, and I'm like, ooh.
He's growing himself a big beard.
Yeah, I thought it was looking good. In good shape.
And then Miz complains. But we'll move on. Daniel Bryan cutting a promo. Stephanie McMahon setting a match for SmackDown. We're going to get Kane versus Daniel Bryan and if I'm not mistaken, his return to the ring.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little about it. I didn't see it, so was it a good match?
Yeah. Yeah, Daniel Bryan, he looks as good as new. It was like he has zero ring rust at all.
I think the thing that's amazing is that he's stayed over with the crowd so much.
Well, I'm not too surprised he stayed over with the crowd because the yes chant, it's catchy and it's easy to do. And it's translated to different sports like baseball, hockey. A lot of people are doing it, so.
True. We got Brie Bella versus Paige. It seems Tyson Kidd's very busy nowadays. He's got his tag team with Cesaro and all of Natalya's feuds.
Yeah, he has to deal with Natalya stuff too.
So yeah, and he distracted Paige somehow.
Yeah, I'd be distracted too if Tyson Kidd was sitting ringside because Tyson Kidd, he's pretty awesome.
But yeah, it definitely seems we're leaning towards Paige and Natalya teaming up, which is some form of Total Divas angle.
Yeah, if you saw the premiere of Total Divas, Natalya and Paige, I think they're a pretty good duo together.
In terms of wrestling skill, yeah, on the show I was a little confused, especially after the first episode of Total Divas. But they seem to be meshing a lot more.
Yeah, in terms of in-ring ability, they're both very good, and I think there's a chance that we could see this duo last. Hopefully it does, because I think it's a great duo, and it's very entertaining to watch.
Yeah. Paige lost, and Paige is not happy at Tyson. Slaps him.
Yeah, I like Paige, but how dare you put your hands on Tyson Kidd?
Yeah. We also got what was expected, I think, at this point. Expected? Is that what TMZ reported, what WWE.com reported? That Macho Man Randy Savage was announced into the 2015 WWE Hall of Fame class. Yeah, I was quite annoyed with the way they went about it, but, you know, it got announced.
Yeah, it seems like they had to announce something before they wanted to again.
Because of TMZ.
Yeah. Just like it happened with Batista last year. Supposed to be a surprise return and ended up getting spoiled.
Yeah, that's the problem nowadays. I think a lot of things are hard to keep a secret. Like, we're already hearing the classic rumors about the Royal Rumble, but we're hearing some ones that have a lot higher chance of being true than the other ones.
Yeah.
We've got the, Bo Dallas coming back from injury one. Then we got the Diamond Dallas Page one.
We've also gotten the Sheamus one.
And we got the ECW Legends one.
Yep, the Dudley Boys, I've heard, or it's been reported that there is a conversation between them and WWE management. And also I heard that there may be one or two NXT names in the Royal Rumble. I don't know if those dirt sheets actually know something or they are just stating the obvious.
I think they're just stating the obvious. We've had an NXT guy in there for the past, 2 years? 2 years? 2 years, I think.
Yeah, I believe it's 2 years. There was Bo Dallas and Rusev.
But yeah. And then we have the classic Shelton Benjamin, Carlito, Charlie Haas, Chris
John
Masters.
Morrison.
All of these
all
guys.
those good names. Legends in the business.
Supposedly they're in the Rumble this year.
Everyone who has ever worked for WWE will be in the Royal Rumble this year according to the dirt sheets.
Yep. See, some of those will be true, probably. I'm not sure.
Yeah, a number of them.
In terms, I think we talked about it last week with just me and Josh, the NXT star, which one are you picking they'll shove in this time?
I'm going to pick two guys, and I believe it will be either Adrian Neville or Sami Zayn, because I believe that those are the two guys that will be one of the next few to be called up, and I believe it makes a lot of sense to have the NXT champion showcased in the Royal Rumble match, but it also makes sense for Neville to be in there because I believe that he'll be up pretty soon.
Okay. I think that's the way we were leaning. We were leaning pretty much towards Sammy if it's one person, or if it's two, adding Neville in. Or Neville, if you're Josh. So what do we got now? The Ascension, talking of NXT talent, squashing some locals.
Yeah, I love the Ascension, but I don't love what they've done to them.
You mean what Vince has done to them?
Yes, pretty much Vince, because Triple H would not do that to them. Because they're Triple H's guys.
I think we've learnt time after time that sending out a strong talent and having them squash jobbers week after week after week is not a good way.
It's not a good way, but sometimes it's also needed. I think it's time the Ascension starts switching over to actual tag teams, or as JBL would put it, and stop facing the guys who just came off a raft in the Gulf of Mexico.
Slightly racist, but yep.
Yep, that's JBL for you.
Just gonna not spoil it, but the major payoff to the entire JBL just shitting on the Ascension was this week on Raw.
Yes, it was.
I don't know if they were like foreseeing that and that's why they had him do it, or if both just so happened to happen and it was a coincidence, but
I'm probably gonna lean it towards just being JBL, and I think the idea is spurred from that.
that's a good point. Again, without spoiling too much, just think about it. Next week, or this week that's just passed, it's Raw Reunion. There's a bunch of legends. That is all. So we'll move on to our current entrance theme of the week. It's Summer Rae's Rush of Power. And you're back with Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, Grady, Josh, and Brandon. Just before we get to the main event, we got a match between Dean Ambrose and Rusev. I gotta say, I didn't know how this match was gonna end, because, Rusev undefeated and Ambrose needs to stay slightly strong. But Ambrose's knee.
Yeah, first I was not going to be surprised if Dean Ambrose tapped out to Rusev, but it's obvious that we could see something in the future between them two, maybe at WrestleMania.
I think Rusev is destined to face John Cena.
Yeah, probably.
Good luck with that, Rusev.
I do hope we get this a solid feud between Dean Ambrose and Rusev at some point.
But Rusev gets more acclimated and he's learning English better. He's becoming a more and more rounded talent. He's always been a great wrestler, but he's actually starting to be able to speak for himself, which is a good thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Is Ambrose's knee going to plague him in the Rumble?
I told you give him an underdog role in winning the thing. Because who would see if they kept playing up that he was hurt, hit his leg hurt, who would see him actually winning the thing? So it would be a surprise win if he did.
So you throw him in at number 1. Make him even more underdog.
I think number 1 is reserved for the ultimate underdog for WWE.
I don't know. People will complain that he wasn't number 30 and Rey Mysterio came out instead.
I watched that on the WWE Network last night. Feels like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Did they modify anything?
Nope.
So they were still booing and all that.
Yep.
Oh, but yeah, that was a really bad choice for number 30.
Yeah, the crowd was chanting for Daniel Bryan throughout a majority of the match, and then you put in Rey Mysterio at number 30.
But you could have capitalized. You could have had a heel go in at number 30, maybe have Daniel Bryan's music play, and then the heel come out instead. You knew number 30 was going to draw heat if it wasn't Bryan.
Yeah.
But poor Rey Mysterio. I think they picked Rey Mysterio because they thought, there's no way anybody would boo Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, they were cheering like crazy when Rey got tossed out.
It pretty much turned the entire crowd against Rey at that point.
But it's kind of crazy. A year later, it could be the opposite. Roman Reigns could be the one getting booed. It's warranted, maybe not. I don't know.
So main event.
I don't think it'll be as bad this time because, unlike last year, Bryan didn't even get a chance.
Yeah.
I think it wouldn't have been as bad for him to have gotten booed, for Batista to have gotten booed, if Bryan had been in the match and would have had a chance to win the match.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the idea of Batista being a good guy wasn't very good in my idea.
The main event, contract signing. We got Lesnar, Cena, and Seth Rollins. Earlier in the night, we had Heyman and Lesnar cutting promos. There's some sketchy business happening.
When has there ever been a time that a contract signing has not ended with someone going through a table or some kind of violence?
Some violence? Okay, never mind. I was going to say, nobody went through a table when Brie and Stephanie signed their contract.
Would have been awesome, though.
But yeah, we're seeing a little bit of changes in people's attitudes. We're seeing Seth Rollins talking to Heyman. We're seeing Lesnar get increasingly frustrated. Some things are shifting.
To me, I am more focused on Seth Rollins versus Lesnar more than I am than John Cena being in this match. To me, this is more of Lesnar versus Rollins than John Cena versus Lesnar versus Rollins.
That's weird. Cena does seem to be an afterthought in the match. Which may work out to his advantage, as he may walk out with the World Championship.
Hopefully J&J, they help to prevent that. I'd love to see either Lesnar or Seth Rollins walk out with the belt. Anybody but John Cena. We don't need to see it. What is it, like a 16th reign?
It would be a record-tying 16th title reign.
Wow. Well, we haven't even seen the match yet, but I'm thinking I'd like a Lesnar-Rollins rematch.
Yeah, maybe at Fastlane, maybe even at WrestleMania.
I don't know. A proper match. I'm not talking like a cash-in. That's not a match. That's a 12-second curb stomp. So, what do we got? We've got about 2 minutes. Quick predictions. Who's going to win the Rumble? Go.
I'm probably going to pick Roman Reigns, but my heart is saying Daniel Bryan.
Josh.
Roman Reigns to face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania for the championship.
Well, that answered my next question. The WWE World Heavyweight Championship triple threat. You're going to go with Rollins?
I'm going to go with John Cena with the Rollins cash-in immediately following.
Okay. Brandon.
I am going to go with Seth Rollins walking out with the belt. I don't want to copy Josh because I can totally see that happening, but I'm just going to say Seth Rollins will walk out with the belt.
Fair enough. Now I'm going off the top of my head because I don't remember. Usos, Miz and Mizdow.
Usos.
Yeah, is anybody,
Usos.
Anybody not picking Usos on that? You're so crazy if you did.
So crazy, Michael.
What have we got? New Day versus the Masters of the WWE Universe and Adam Rose.
New Day.
I am going to go with Cesaro, Tyson Kidd, and Adam Rose.
Not a chance.
Give them a chance.
I'm hoping, though.
0.0000% chance.
Gotta put a 1 in there somewhere. What do we got?
Nope, no one. They're not getting that chance at all.
Bella Twins versus Natalya and Paige.
Paige and Natalya.
I'm going to agree with him and go with Paige and Natalya. Set up a title match down the road.
Are there any matches I've missed? I don't think there are any matches.
The Ascension versus
Oh yeah, the Ascension versus cough spoilers. Close your ears. The New Age Outlaws.
spoilers.
Who we going?
The Ascension.
I'm going to go with the Ascension.
Okay. So it's been great talking to you guys,
Been great talking to you too.
and
Peace out.
we'll see how many of those are correct by next week. So you can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/Wrestling Roundup Radio, or our Twitter page, twitter.com/Wrestling Radio, or our website, wrestlingroundup.host22.com, wrestlingroundup.host22.com, and I'll see you next week.